Yesterday I talked about a lot of things that we've already mentioned: ideation, wireframing, visual design, paying attention to design principles, paying attention to usability, paying attention to your actual users, research, and a few other things, right? So today, let's just create a very nice design. All right. Who's excited? Okay, so quick one. Let's engage. So that we'll make this as realistic as possible. What website do we have in mind? Or what website do you think of when you want to design? Like what website on the top of your head do you say, ah man, it would be nice to create something like this? Just drop them in the comments, and then we'll take a pool, and then we'll choose one that we can just use to practice right now. So I want to hear you guys. What website excites you? I have one that personally excites me at the moment. So like every week I have a new website that excites me. So I want to see you guys comment. So what website do you think we should use to practice? I'm looking out for your comment. Jumia, FinTech, and Amazon. Socratica.info. All right. Okay. So that, oh yeah, Jumia is a yeah, Jumia is a web app. Amazon, a dashboard. A dashboard. Do you want to start with the dashboard? Online store. Animal forestry sites. Why? Do you love animals? FinTech. All right, so let me look at Socratica.info and let's see. Why do you want to start your career complicated? So to why do you want to start your career like this? Why? let me show you guys what Socratica looks like. So this is what Socratica looks like, right? Really nice. Dope stuff. Dope stuff. So I mean, if things like this are already tripping you, then I mean, you would really like to give UI UX a very good time, and practice stuff like that. So I like this. I like this website, right? But for the sake of everybody and for the sake of the set of people that are meeting the class, is a beginner's class. So let's go simple, right? Let me see. Okay, someone wants to give us soccer live score. Why? Why? All right. So I'm going to start with like, let's look for something very basic. Soccer live score, online store, a dashboard, Amazon, fintech. Let's do, all right, let's look for a fintech. I think there are two fintech comments, right? Are they? Oh, there's one fintech comment. Okay, let's look for a fintech. Fintech is one of the most generic um, kinds of startup that you find in Nigeria, right? So somebody name me a fintech. Name a fintech for me. Let's go. Name me a fintech company in Nigeria. Anchor. Oh, Anchor. Nice, nice. I love Anchor. Anchor has a very nice UI. There's credit direct. Okay. Piggyverse. Oh yeah, Piggyverse. Fair money. Oh, that's great. So let's start with Anchor. Let's see what Anchor has. Anchor has a very nice UI. Who said Anchor? Is this how you want to start your career? With complications? You want to start your career with complications? Are, are you seeing what they did there? All right, let's look for something basic. Let's look for something basic. Let's look at Piggyverse. Let's see how Piggyverse is. I mean, we could do this, but it will take a while. We could do what Anchor has, but it is going to take a minute. It's going to take a bit, right? So let's go for Piggyverse. Let's go for Piggyverse, guys. Those in favor, just emoji like. Those not in favor, I don't know. I don't know what you can do about it. You just have to shed tears. All right, so let's go. First step. So quick pool. How many of us are already familiar with Figma? If you're already familiar with Figma, just give me a thumbs up. So I want to know what we're working with here. How many of us have used Figma in the past? You are familiar with Figma. You know how to open a file in Figma. Uh, awesome. Okay, so a number of us are familiar with Figma. This is your first time hearing of Figma, or you've not used Figma before. Can I see? Let me see you drop a thinking emoji on your. So this is your first time using. This is the first time I'm hearing of Figma, or you've not used it before. Okay, okay. So there's a number of us that haven't used Figma before. All right. So let's keep it simple, right? And let's start from scratch. Okay. Trust me, you're going to, even if you've used Figma before, you're going to pick up one or two things from this class. Trust me. So let's get started, right? Let's go to www.figma.com. So one of the reasons why Figma is every designer's love language right now, every UI UX designer's love language at the moment, is because one, when Figma started, it was free. It's still free, but there is like a premium pack. There is like a paid version of it, but you don't need a paid version of it. I've not had to pay for Figma. Usually, when you work in a company, they would have to pay for the version for the Figma, and then you go right ahead and use it. But personally, I'm not sure you would have need to be on the paid version of Figma. Although now there are a couple of there are a couple of updates regarding prototyping or special stuff that you can access on the paid version, or maybe more files. On the paid version, you are going to be able to collaborate with a number of people, right? But on the free version, you have maybe like one file or two files that you can collaborate on. It means that I can be on the same file with everybody on this call now if we had a paid Figma version or a certain kind of paid version or paid plan. We would all have been able to work in one Figma file while you are fixing up something on this board. I'm fixing up something on this board. I'm fixing up something on this board. But for a starter, you don't need that, right? You don't need that. You have access to one or two files where you can collaborate with more than two or three people. So if you have that, I think you're good to go. So let's get started with the free version, right? Yeah. So yes, I was saying one of the reasons why Figma is every designer's love language is one, easy to use. Figma is by far the easiest design tool to use. That's one. Two, it is free. Unlike when Adobe XD was leading, Adobe XD Sketch and the rest, Sketch was off the bat paid. Adobe XD was like Illustrator and all of those things. You wanted to download it, you would have to download a cracked version unless you pay for it, right? But Figma came, you can use Figma just from your browser. You go to your browser and you're using Figma. If you want to download it, better for you still. So Figma is just everybody's language. Then all the updates and the iterations that they made over time, it just keeps getting better. With I think every month or every 6 weeks, Figma releases some updates, and it's always sweet. It's just exciting for every designer. All right, so let's get started without wasting much time. Create a new file. All right, so we can see my cursor here. So let's create a new design file. Okay. All right. So here we have a new created design file. You can see how the interface is. Your own might be on light mode. That might just be the difference. But I want you to follow. I want you guys to follow me. If you have your laptop or your systems, just follow me hands on. Okay, let's name this Academia. All right. And now we are designing a landing page for a fintech company. All right. And our fintech company is going to be Academia. So first things first is what? Ideation. So you don't expect it to jump right into design, right? So let's ideate. What are we designing? A fintech app, a fintech website for a fintech company, or a landing page for a fintech company. Oh, cool. How do we go about this? Oh, let's make some sketches. And then you go to your sketch, you go to your paper and biro, and let's draw something. Now, I told us about Balsamic yesterday. Told us about Balsamic yesterday. It's a prototyping tool that you can use to create wireframes. I mean, it's a wireframing tool that you can use to like build wireframes or basics of maybe a website that you're trying to work on. Now, in the last few months or in the last year, I think Balsamic went paid. So now you'd have to pay to be able to use Balsamic, which is not very exciting. I mean, they have to make money, right? So let's see. Okay. 30 days free. So I'm trying to get us to use Balsamic, but it is not free anymore. It isn't free anymore. So for the purpose of this class, I already know what I want to do in my head. So let's just go through it. Let's just go through that. Okay. So first things first, before you create any design, once you have your wireframing, you know what you have an idea of what you want to create. What you go ahead is you create a screen for that. For example, if it's a mobile app, you go ahead and you bring out a frame. Please let's follow my mouse. So when you click on press, now you can see the controls here, right? So here you see this is your pencil tool, your picker tool that you can just, when you're on it, you can just move around, select something. Let me create something quickly. So imagine I have something like this, I have something like this, I have something like this. So basically your picker tool is what you use to select any of these things. Yeah, I can select this and move around, select this, move around. That's what that tool does. And then the next one here, scale. Once you're on it, I'm not sure if I've used this tool before. Oh yes, yes. So when you're on this what's it called? Picker, what you can do is scale an item equally on all the sides. You can see it scales equally on every side. But if you're on picker tool, when you scale, it scales only one side, or it scales the side that you move towards its direction. But when you're on other tool, you select it with K, you can, when you move, even if you move towards the side or you move towards down, it scales all equally. All right. One of the tools that we're also going to look at is the frame tools here. Frame, and this is a section. Now, frame basically is how you create screens. You can see immediately I selected the frame button, you use F on your keyboard to select that. It shows you different frames that you can work with. So you have phones here. Should we work with a mobile screen? Let's say you are designing a mobile app or a mobile viewport. You can select any of these phone screen sizes here. If it's a tablet, there is a list for that. If it's desktop, There is a list for that. If it is a presentation, you want to design a watch, applications for watch. Now, this is where it gets exciting. So many times people think, oh, UI UX only cuts across tech products, that is products that you use on your phone and your laptop. But really it is not. So there are people that actually design the interfaces for your laptop. If you're on your phone or your laptop, there are people that sit down to design what your phone should look like. The reason why your iPhone looks the way it looks, the reason why you have to swipe up to see your notifications or swipe down to see your notifications, it is people that design those interactions, right? They are also product designers. It is people that design how you interact with your wristwatch, your Apple Watch, or your smartwatch. Do you get? So they are all UI UX designers. So don't limit your mind. Go wide. I mean, the field is large, right? And the space is vast. So go wild. Watches and a bunch of other stuff. In fact, in medicals, there are people that they specialize in designing interfaces for medicals. For example, when somebody is sick and they plug the person to those machines that beep, it is designers that design what those things are supposed to be look like, and they are well versed in the knowledge of how things should work, or how doctors should be able to interact with these things, and how best they can understand any of those things, so that they design things that doctors can interact with, right? So UI UX is massive, is wide, right? So let's get started. You press F on your keyboard, and now, because we are designing a landing page, let's start with desktop. Okay, so let's just select desktop viewport, and once you select it, you see this frame on your laptop. Now, let's talk about the anatomy of a web page. Now, on a web page, there are different sections of a web page. There is the header. So I'm going to let me show us a regular web page here. Let's use Balsamiq for an example. So this is Balsamiq, the tool that you can use to wireframe. You can see start with 30 days free. So let's start with this, for example. So I was talking about the anatomy of a website, right? Now, everything that you see on this entire screen here, first, when you land on this website, that is when you click on balsamiq.com, this opens. This is called a landing page, right? Or a hero section. Landing page is more likely the entire page, okay? All the pages, that's a landing page. But this first page is called the hero section. The reason why it is the hero section is it is the first page where you can get people to take action immediately, the first immediate action you want people to take. For example, if you are selling biros and you want people to buy biros from you, it is injustice to have them scroll down to the last page for them to buy your biro. Now, the thing is that you're not going to want to do that yourself, because I can come to the website and I'm not interested in scrolling down, right? You've lost me. So one of the reasons why it is called an hero section is the first place that you can convert a client. So you have to make it as informative as possible, one, as attractive as possible, two, as communicative as possible, right? And then for people to easily navigate, let's say I don't want to see this page. The page I want to see is about your page, about your company, right? That is why we now have menus on the top of this page. Now we call this a header. Somebody say a header. I know I won't hear you, but I can say it wherever you are. So this is called a header. A header usually contains the immediate navigations, that is navigations of the website, the company's logo, right? And maybe an action button, maybe to sign in or log in, right? So, but mostly logo and then menu, basically to navigate and to tell you who the company is, right? I mean, even when you meet people, it doesn't make sense to come and meet people and say, oh, I sell this. Bro, who are you? Right? So I am Balsamiq. In case you don't want to hear about me, you want to see the things I do, maybe my support page, or you want to learn other things, or you want to see my price list, or you want to see my products, you can go ahead and do that. But the major things I want you to know about me first is what comes on the landing page. All right, beautiful. So I'm glad we get that. So there is the landing page, there is the hero section, there are other sections of the page. You can see there are a lot of other sections that you can use to communicate whatever you do to whoever is coming to your platform, right? And then after all of these pages, there is now this section that you see on almost every website for in different sizes. This is now called the footer. So the footer is basically like the resting place of the website. Now here, after you've told somebody about you, you can now allow them have maybe your contact info, or just let them browse through. Maybe they want to check you out somewhere. And imagine that you now have to go back to this top here for people to now see, to now be able to check your company, support, login, and all of these things, right? So the entire idea of many of these things is for you to easily navigate information across a digital platform. So you have first your header, you have your hero section, you have other sections on the website, and then you have your footer. Is that right? All right, so if we're still following, somebody give me a thumbs up. All right, awesome, awesome. Let's keep going, guys. So let's dive into the design, okay? Let's dive right in. So back to our board. So one of the first things that you might want to do is to do what? Create your header. All right. Now I'm using, so for you to create a frame, you press A on your keyboard or F. All right. If you press V on your keyboard, it brings you back to this picker tool. I mean, once when you go to those tools, you'll see them. You see V, you see K, you see F, but A also brings you to this frame. You see F, you see section, you see slides. That's to cut a page. I've not really had need for slides since I've been designing on Figma. Yeah, then you see where you can create shapes. I can create a rectangle line, draw a line, create arrows, draw out ellipses or circles, or a polygon, triangle. You can change the sizes or the number of ends that it has, a star as well, and then you can add images. Okay, so yeah, you can also use the pen tool to draw, or pencil tool to draw up something, you know, like create a custom shape, you know, and things like that. So can use the pen tool, the pencil or pen tool for that as well. All right. So back to our website. So let's create our header. Oh, we're running out of time, so I have to be quick as possible. All right. So I press F, right, and then I've selected to create a frame, and then let's create our header. Now I want it to be the same width as this, right? So our desktop, our screen is, if you check here, you see 1440 width, pixels in width. I want our header to also have that size. Okay, so I create our header. Let's give it a sizing of 88, and then let's put it inside of this place. Now let's call this our website, or our home page, or let's call it our landing page. Landing page. And like I already showed us from Balsamic's website, the first things that came was what? The header. So we have our header here. Let's color it so that we can see that there's actually a header there. Okay, let's give it this. Oh, I like this color. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so let's give it this color. We can see, right? Awesome. So let's give it this color. I'm giving it a height of 88 pixels. Now, One of the ways that when you design, to be sure that what you are designing looks like what you have in mind and looks like what you expect a user to see. One of the things that you do is to view your design in an actual website, right? So one of the things I do is when I'm designing a website, if it is a desktop website, I go to figma.com/mirror. So follow me. Somebody go to figma.com/mirror. Let's go to figma.com. Figma.com/mirror. So here, so I think I'm going to share this place. No, I won't, because you have to see what I'm working on. So here, you can see what I have in the design, but you're not seeing. Were you guys seeing that tab? I hope you were. Oh, yes, yes, you are. So on this particular tab, figma.com/mirror that I'm on, you're not going to be seeing all the design tools. If I was sharing this tab now, you're seeing my Figma file. You're going to be seeing all this place. You're going to be seeing all these things. You're going to be seeing these things. Now, what you're looking at here is a design. But for you to see how this design will actually look like on a website, which helps you put the right sizes, the right fonts, the right shapes and stuff, you have to be looking at it in a Figma mirror so that you see just what it looks like on the website. All right. But let me share this screen, right? So with time, I'm going to visit that Figma mirror so that we can see exactly what we're doing. So let's go ahead. Let's get right into it. I think I'm taking too much time. Let's create our logo. Okay. Let's look for a logo. On Figma, there are plugins that you can use to find logos. So let's look for a logo. Brand fetch. Yes. So already you are working for a company. I'm sure you should have the company's logo. So come on. Get started. All right. So let's use Airbnb's logo. No. Let's not use Airbnb's logo. Let's look for PiggyVest's logo. All right. So you tap on it and boom, you have PiggyVest's logo. All right. Yeah. That's PiggyVest's logo. So let's reduce the size to the sizing we want it to have. And then let's throw it into our header. Okay. Awesome. Now, one of the things I like to do before I start any design is either mentally or physically on my board, I create rulers for my design. I can use here, you can go to your Figma, go to edit, or go to view and say you want it to show rulers. Right. So what I usually do is drag this and place it here. This is 86. Right. So let's say I want my design to have a padding or a margin of 80. That is anything outside. I don't want to have anything, any information outside of this line. Right. So I go ahead and do that for this other side. Right. I don't want to have any information outside of this line. To be sure that that size, that is 80, I create a triangle, or a rectangle, size it up to 80. Size it up here. Size it up to 80. Right, yes, and drag this to this place. Can we see that? Awesome. So it means that I don't want anything to go beyond these lines. Is this 86? Okay, this is 86. Let's make it 80. No, this is 80. So let's make this one 80. All right, awesome. So nothing goes beyond those lines, right? Right. Now let's create our menus, our menu bar. You press T and you are going to be able to type. Yeah, so let's type. First page is home page, right? Home page. Let's give it a sizing of 16 pixel. You can type again, or basically you press on this text, hold alternate on what's it called, on Mac, on Apple, and drag, or hold options on your Windows and drag, and then you create another one. So let's say home, and then we have about us, and then we have what are that, contacts, contact us, and then we have our services. Our services. All right, awesome. So let's just have this four. And for my fonts, I'll be using Inter, right? So by the time I'm done, I'm going to tell us the reason why I'm using the font size I'm using, the reason why I'm using the logo size I'm using, and many of the decisions that I made, right? So just follow me. So I've created this. I center them, put them in the center, and then let's say I want them to take an action, right? And then I go ahead to create a button, right? You select a frame to create a button for starters. So let's create a button. I bring my text. Let's give our button a color of red. Color of red, and then round the corners. And then let's put some text there and say sign up. All right, if you want to change the color of any of your text, just come to this place, or anything at all. You want to change the color of anything on your page, just come here and you can change the color to whatever you want it to be. Awesome. All right, I'm running late. I think let's hurry this up, okay? So we have this here now. Let's just move this a little. All right, nice. So now we have our website header, okay? And the reason why you create a frame for this header is because, like any other website, this header is going to be reusable across all of the pages on the website. For example, if you go to Balsamiq, let's go back to Balsamiq. Let me show you what I mean. So if you come here, if you go to pricing, the rest of the things on this website will change, but that header will not change. Right? Internet is a bit slow. I think it's a general issue. Yeah, it is actually a general issue. So internet is a little slow, but let's just go with the flow. This is taking time, so let's go back to our design. That's taking a lot of time. So I'm sure we are following, because it looks like my internet is a bit slow. Can we all hear me? If you can hear me, just drop an emoji. Let me be sure you are following. All right, awesome. Okay, awesome. You cannot hear me. Nice. So because network has been hell in the past few days. So Balsamiq takes time to load. So let's come back to our drawing board. Let's come back to our design board. Okay. So now, like I mentioned earlier, for you to see exactly what your designing looks like, you usually would go to figma.com/mirror. So let me show you guys what we have in the mirror looks like right now. You can see now already this looks like a website. Can you see how how simple, maybe not easy, but how simple it is, right, to create a header on a website. Okay, so you can already see, if you come here, you see your home, you come here, you see this, come here, you see contact, come here, you see. Already, once you get this thing done, PiggyVest is ready to hire you. You are good to go. You should be thankful to academia, right? All right, so let's continue. So let me share back our design. So one of the next things that we're going to do is design the information or the first set of information and actions we want the user to take or get from our website. So let's get right into it. So I press my T again to type, I enter, and then I type, let's say, somebody give me a very prosperous line for a fintech company. Give me a very prosperous line that you can use on your fintech website. Just type it in the comment section and then let's throw it into our design. Maybe solve your money issues, solve your financial issues with PiggyVest, or save and earn the best way possible. Somebody give me a tagline. If you are following, give me a tagline in the comment section. Are we here? Should I do it myself, guys? I need you. I need to be sure we're following. Give me a tagline. Get money right. Save your money with us today. Okay, that's nice. Save your money with us today. Saving made easy here. I like saving made easy here. If I Somto says save your money with us today. Saving made easy here. So save your money with us today sounds like an action button. Sounds like what you want to do after you've told them the benefits of saving money with you, right? Saving made easy here sounds like we're here to solve your saving problems. All right, so let's use saving made easy. Thank you, Somto. Thank you. If I transact and save swiftly home and abroad. Okay, nice. Transact and save swiftly home and abroad. Saving made easy here. Transact. Let's go with saving made easy here. Thank you, guys. So let's throw that in. Saving made easy here. All right, and then you can't read it if it is this small. So let's increase our text size. Let's make it bold. Saving made easy. Right. All right, you can see I'm not letting anything go past my margin, right? So there are other levels to this. Because this is just early on in the design, that's why I'm using margin. I'm using these rulers for you guys. But usually, if I'm building a website or a web app, I would usually want to use what we call layout grid. If I click on this, you can see the many lines that are drawn there. I can click on it to say, oh, I want my columns to be like this. I want my margin to be 80 pixel. You can see already it divides that. Outside I have 80 pixel. All right, but I don't want to load us with a lot of information, so I'm just going to take that off. Let's work with just the margin, and then later on, Academia has a boot camp coming up very soon, so you guys should follow through. You're going to learn massive lot from that training, right? You're going to trust me, you're going to learn a lot, not just about design, about the entire design processes, the thinking that goes behind it, and then you're going to connect with a lot of senior designers and then even people, and learn alongside people that are starting out just like you are. Okay, so let's go ahead. Saving made easy. Awesome. So I'm using a font size of 76. I think it might be a little big, so let's use 64. Okay. Yeah, I think 64 is fine. All right. So saving made easy. Now I want us to add to now explain saving made easy, because one of the things you want to do is not just give them a tagline. You want to explain what exactly you're trying to do, as simple as possible, as short as possible. So let's write something. Let's write something. Let's see. Facing the challenges. Now, trust me, usually if I was working on something this simple, I'm not going to write this by myself. I'm just going to go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, fetch me um I'm a description for a fintech company, a hero text for a fintech company, about them or something, and it's just going to just ask the right questions. I need to fetch me that. But for the purpose of this class, let's just type it together, right? Facing the challenges of saving, Piggyverse helps you. Let me bring this here. Piggyverse helps you save your money timely, and you earn 8% interest while you save. Double win. Okay, so let's try this in. I use a font size of 16. I give it a regular font weight, and then let's throw it into our design. All right. Okay, so and let's change this color a little bit. Go. Let's make this 24. All right. And now our button is now going to say save with us. Or what should our button say? Yes, so save now. Let's say save now. Okay. Let's create a button. Or you can just drag this one here and just reuse this. Drag it from there to this place. Increase the size a bit. And then let's say save now. And then we'll say save now. Right? Save now. Now, you're not going to want to leave this page entirely empty, right? Leave the rest of the pages entirely empty. Okay, so you want to add maybe an image or an illustration or something of that nature. Okay, so let's use an image just for basic sake. Let's use an image. Okay, so how I created this, I just pressed R on my keyboard and I can create rectangles. So remember, when you go here, you can see this. When you click on R, you can create rectangles, right? And L, you can create lines. So let's get it. Awesome. Now, there are plugins that you can use as well to fetch images from websites. So let's use one of those. Let's use, what's it called? Unsplash. Yes, I like Unsplash. So we're just going to look for an image of, let's call it saving. All right. Let's call it saving. So our plugin is opening up. And now we can search for an image. Again, internet problem, so let's give it some time. So while our plugin is loading up, I'm going to go ahead and show us what we've been working on so far on our Figma mirror. Okay. So you go to Figma mirror. Let me share us our tab in Figma mirror. So can we see this? We can see this drop an emoji. If this is looking like a proper website, so can you drop an emoji? Let me see you drop an emoji. Yeah, so this is already, you can see how simple it is. This is how simple it is to get started.
How simple it is to get started.
Right, so
Right. So
I'm hearing myself.
I'm hearing myself.
Oh, Dorothy,
Oh,
please
Dorothy, please.
mute your mic. Oh, thank you. So I kept hearing myself echo. So yeah, so I mean, you guys can see this, right? Can you see how genius I am? Can you see my creation? Our creation, guys. All right, so let us continue. So you can already see how simple. You can see the choice of colors, the tone of pink that we used on the header just matches with the color, the red that we use on our button, right? Again, talking about use of color, right, and positioning and alignment, things like that. So we're going to get back to that. So let's come back to our design. So the reason why I mentioned this mirror to us is because here, while you're designing, you can already see what you're designing. Imagine this text was too big. I can already see it here and say, oh, this website is too big. I go back to my design and I change the font size, right? So that is why Figma Mirror is really important. Another way you can access Figma Mirror is just when you click on, you see this play button here on your design. So while you design, you click on this play button, you are going to find yourself on this same screen, on that same Figma Mirror screen. Oh, I wasn't sharing my screen. So like I was saying, if you click this play button on your Figma, this takes you to a prototype of this, right? Basically not interactive, but you can just view the pages, your pages one after the other. All right. So yeah, so our Unsplash is loaded. So let's look for an image. Let's say saving, somebody saving. All right, so you can see a bunch of images here. So let's pick one. Which one suits more? Which one feels like we're actually saving? Now, there are a lot of concepts, there are a lot of things that you have to consider while picking an image. Right? Consider the set of people you are designing for. If it's a Nigerian company, it will make the most sense to use a white image, right? A white person's image. It makes sense to use something that the people that you want to save can relate to or can relate with, right? So let's look for um, let's use a celebrity picture smiling. Okay. Let's use a celebrity picture smiling while looking at his phone, like an ambassador. Okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's search, let's use the keyword ambassador. Let's see if that gives us a something we're looking for. Ambassador. No, this no. No, this one is giving influencer. Okay, so let's use another keyword. Let's say business. Let's try POS. Nope, not POS. Let's look for what other name can we use? Let's search. Um, pay. I mean, this might work. Let's look for person. So guys, the reason why I'm not like going already finding pictures just by myself, looking for the right pictures, because I want us to understand this is actually how it happens in your design. This is actually how it happens while you design on your own. Even while you look for illustrations or icons, you're going to some icons, you don't know what to call it. You're going to have to search for names. You're going to have to maybe create custom icons for yourself. Some companies go ahead to shoot the images that they want on their website, right? So those are one of the things that you also have to visualize while you design websites for companies or clients generally. You have to be able to tell what theme of imagery or what art direction do you want the entire website to take, right? So um, let's internet is being a mess so much. Let's just use CEO. Let's search. Okay, this feels like it gives. This is not the best, right? Saving made easy. No, let's look for saving. Let's look for saving money. Nope. Let's. I don't know. You know what? Let's pick one of these images. Let's just choose an image. Okay. Let's use this. Okay. Okay. This is not the best. I mean, but let's just use that so that I don't take too much of your time. Let's not waste time looking for image. Right. So let's use that. So what I just did is I click on the image and then it is just going to load up. It's taking time again because of network issues. So let's give it time to load and we'll have our website image on. I hope we're following. I hope we're picking one or two things from this. Uh, Internet is really a mess today. How many of us have been having troubles with MTN? I mean, I'm sure most of us have heard what happened already. So I'm sure many of us are having troubles with connectivity, MTN, Airtel, all of them. So it has been really a mess this week. Yes, all the networks. So um, let's see. Let's try this again. So while that is opening up, I'm just going to adjust this so that it looks well in my mirror. Let me try it. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to look for an image on my phone, on my system, right, and just throw it in there. Okay, so let me look for where's an image? What image can I use here? Let's use except this one has appeared. No, it hasn't. Let's look for an image. Okay, so I just imported an image. Okay, so let's use this image. Let's just use this. It doesn't communicate what we want it to, but for the sake of time, let's use this. Okay, let's use it and let's make it. Let's finesse it a little. Right, you guys, you already know how I created this circle. I just pressed O on my keyboard, and it takes me to our Eclipse. You can see, you can click on O here, and you are going to be able to create this shape. All right, now let's give it a color. Should we give it the same color? Or let's see for an alternative color, maybe something already here. But I'm not sure this green goes with the rest of the things on our page. So maybe let's stick to this. All right. Yeah. Let's stick to this. And then I'm going to show us what we have on our design. Okay. And then I'm going to share our mirror now, and this is what it looks like on our mirror. Can we see this? Can you see these glorious Piggyverse websites? You can use it to apply to a job in Piggyverse now, and they won't be scared of hiring you. And they might be a little, right? So guys, this is how easy and simple it is to create very basic stuff with Figma. Very simple UI. Already you know the anatomy of the website. What we just created here is a hero section of the website, right? You have your header, and you have a lot of other elements. This is a logo. Okay, let me do that. So this is a header. In case you were not here while I was mentioning, while I was talking about it, this is a header. This is your logo, company logo. This is the navigations. This is a button. In case you do not know, this is also a button. This is your hero text, right? And this is your hero image. And this is as simple as a website gets, not complicated. So you can already see that getting started in UI UX is not hard. What's truly is troublesome is making use of these principles. Imagine I used, let me go to design and change a few things here. Imagine I used green here. Right? Imagine we used this color on the header. This already feels terrible. Why? Because blue doesn't match with the rest of the colors that we have on the page. It already feels like a terrible website. Meanwhile, it really isn't. All you just needed to do was use the right color, right? You're not able to read the things here: home, about us, contact us, our services. It's not readable. It's not user-centric. It is not usable, right? If I come to a website and I have to struggle to read things, then you've made a mess. Okay, so that is where the principles of design is really come into place. usage of colors, placement. You can see how these things are placed. You can see how everything is lined up. We first of all had to create a margin, had to create a margin 80 pixel here, 80 pixel here, so that there is a structure, there is a balance on our page, right? We threw this here, we threw this here. We didn't move this a bit here or a bit here so that it is disjointed, right? And we just went along to use the right colors. That's how basic the principle is. Okay, guys. So if I really hope that we've learned something just from this little exercise. And what I'm going to have us do is to create the mobile version of this. Yeah. So no, you're not going to view any websites only on desktop or on mobile, right? Almost every website that you view, you have to view it on desktop, and you have to as well view it on mobile. Okay, so one of the exercises I want us to take is I want you to redesign this website. I'm going to send it to the management as a PDF. So if you're on the group or if you're on the community, I'm going to send you a PDF of what the assignment is going to look like. And I want us to submit it by Monday, next week, Monday, Tuesday, if you have the time this weekend. And I don't want you to submit it on the group. Post it on LinkedIn, use it to start conversations on LinkedIn. Trust me, one of the places where you are going to connect the most is on LinkedIn. Right? You want to be active on LinkedIn, guys. You are going to want to be active on LinkedIn. Okay. So I'm going to before we end, I'm going to give us yeah, I'm later going to send that as a PDF to the management and have us make this website responsive. So that's what responsive design means is that, yeah, I see your hands. I'm going to take questions. I'm coming, guys. So what because you don't view any website only on one screen size or one viewport, that's where responsive designs comes in. So responsive design means is a way that you create a design in such a way that you view it on your tablet, you view it on your phone, you view it on your desktop, and it looks the same. You don't view it on desktop and it looks like a different website. Then when you view it on your mobile, it looks like a different website. So responsive design is also a skill that you get to learn how to design stuff so that they look similar but responsive. Okay. So all right, thank you guys for staying tuned. If you have any questions, please shoot. I saw some hands up, so if you have any questions, hit me. Yes, if fine, you have a question, shoot. You can unmute your mic, maybe share your camera, and then go. So if I go, and then Timilan, you go next. If I let's hear your question.
Um, Good evening.
Hi, if I good evening.
Thank you for your in total lesson. I really enjoyed myself and I learned a lot. And what I want to ask is now the what did you call it? The landing page that involved the hero page and header some blah blah blah. And so after this one that you created, all those when you click the about us,
Yeah.
all those things that you write in a website now, you click all those buttons that you click about us. That is it the work of product design to write everything there, or if you want to create something, you want to design a project for a company, would they
Yeah.
give you a vital write up, like what they want you to put in there, or you'll be the one to create every write up for them except terms and condition?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, fine. Thank you so much. That's a very important question, right? So if I is asking, so basically asking all the text on the website about the company or the information that they can contact the company with. Who writes that? Is it the UI designer or is it the UI UX designer?
Yeah.
So Yes, thank you. So that now opens us to another conversation. So UI UX is so vast that there are now a number of fields under UI UX, right? There are some companies that you work with, maybe bigger companies usually have can. So I'm going to come back to your actual question, but I'm trying to address one of the things that it opens us up to. So you can actually be just a UI designer. That is, they give you copies, they give you everything. All you have to do is create the design. There are people that all they do is animate the website. That is, create experiences for applications or for softwares. There are people that what they do is UX writing. So UX writing is also another field on its own. Many times, the UI UX designer also is a UX writer in many companies, right? They're also the UX writer. So a UX writer is, for example, this copy that we came up with, saving made easy here, facing the challenges of that's UX writing. It means writing copies for that are supposed to be on a website, right? So who comes up with that? Now it depends on your role in a company, right? So let's say as a UI UX writer, you're working on a project by yourself, or you're working on a company as a solo UI UX designer. You will most likely be expected to come up with those things. But one of the things that you do is have conversations with stakeholders, have conversations with your company has a content creator or a copywriter, have conversations with them. Of course, you are not the best person to talk about the company. It is the owner of the company. So before you start the company, you are supposed to have a mission, vision, and all of those things. You are supposed to know exactly what your company does, right? So the company is supposed to give you those details, give you all of those copies, and then you find the best way to place them or the best way to architect them or to structure them on the company's website, right? So about us comes from the company. How you place them, how you use those informations is left to the user, to the UI UX designer to use. The rest of the copies you might be expected to come up with, um, and that's fine, right? So if it is a bigger company, for example, my company, we're currently redesigning our website, and one of the things that we did was have a marketing strategist and copywriter write all the copies that we needed for the website. I didn't have to write anything. I've worked in some of the places where I had to write some of those things. I had to, while I'm designing, I based on what I know about the company, I can also ask them when I write. I ask them, does this align with what our company does? They say yes, we'll put it there. They say no, it doesn't. We change it up until it aligns, and you put it there. Right? Does that answer your question? If I
Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ifeanyi, for that question. Dorothy, you have your hand up. Before Dorothy goes, somebody else had their hand up before Dorothy. I think somebody had their hand up. Oh, Timilane, do you want to go now before Dorothy, or should she go?
Hi, Joe. Good evening.
Hi, Dorothy. Good evening.
Thank you for the classes. Yeah, like this thing you did, I was actually impressed. Like using building a simple website without auto layout and all. It's actually impressive, and it looked like you actually use auto layout. So my question is actually not on the website, but you use this plugin to search for a logo.
Okay,
I've
yeah.
actually never seen it before. There's some plugins I've never seen before, but I'm always told that the more you move further in Figma, the more you like see things. So I don't know. Like I dropped my question on the message,
The comments.
the
Okay.
chat already.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
if you can like, you
Okay.
seen it.
Yes. Yeah. I just seen it. So
Okay.
please, can you drop the plugins you commonly use and their functions, also websites that we can get inspirations or use for research apart from Google and the very common ones. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. So I'm going to drop.
All right.
So for this, I used brand fetch. I'll type that quickly to get logo. Brand fetch. Let me see if I got that and the spelling right. So you can basically, let me share my screen. Let me share back this screen. So basically, you can go to your Figma, and when you right click, you go to plugins, and then you can go to manage plugins, and then you can look for plugins, right? There are a lot of plugins. On Splash, I use on Splash many times for pictures, right? For stock pictures, images, and things like that. I use brand fetch for, let's say I'm working and I need a list of logos, right? Or I need a company's logo. I go to brand fetch. If it's a popular company or quite popular, you will see their logo there. So I hope you can see the spelling. So brand fetch on Splash. I have then plugins that I think you need as a designer to have. Iconify. So Iconify gives you any type of icon. So you can't have an Iconify and say you don't have icons to work with. So I can search for, let's say I'm designing a mobile page and I'm looking for a home icon. Look at the list of icons that I can find here. Right, so there is rarely a project I work on that I don't have. So look at homepage. Let's say I want to create a login screen or a password. Enter your password. I can use this, right? I can search for You know when you create a password, what's it called? Input field, and then you need that that either opens or closes. So you can see the options that you're giving me, right? So you can't go wrong with Iconify. So I think every designer needs Iconify. What other plugin do you need? You can get illustrations. I'll talk about brand fetch, avatars. I don't know if everybody needs avatars, but yeah, let's say you are designing something that involves a lot of images, maybe like a chart, a lot list of people that you need to add images to them. Instead of going to download images and throwing avatar images there, it can just automatically fetch avatar images for you. Okay. So what other one? So I hope we're taking this down. Please just write it down because I might not just be able to type them. So there's wireframes, there's Unsplash, necessary, Iconify, necessary, brand fetch. I don't use it too often, but really important. Avatars, I use that often. So yeah, random name generator, random. So at different times, I just use different of these things. Yeah, super gradient. I use super gradients too. Let's say I want this. What's it called? This circle here. Instead of making it gradient all by myself, you can see that it distributes the color now, right? You can see how it shares the color into two. With gradients, I can just find already made gradients for my project, and I just use it. I might have to retouch it a little, but yeah, I just use it. That answers your questions, right, Dorothy?
Yes, yes, thank you. What about
Thank
the
you.
website?
Sorry?
Like getting inspiration, you want to build something and you need to
Oh,
see
yes.
similar and
Where you
inside
can
out
get
where they
inspiration
can get.
from. Oh, yeah. So websites, you can use Dribble. I mean, first UI UX designers, first one of the first things that they get to know is Dribble, Behance, right? But I prefer there's some websites that I prefer where I get like real inspirations from. Now, when I want to do a project, one of the things I do is we search for companies that do the same thing. Imagine I want to design a logistic company mobile app. What I do is I go to Google and I search 50 top 50 logistic companies in Nigeria. And one by one, I explore their interface, I explore their mobile app. If you check my phone, you can see up to 20 mobile apps that I have not opened or that I don't even use. Maybe I've opened them once and I just went through their onboarding and downloaded them, and just to see how their UI looks like. That's one of the ways that you can also learn as well and build like, what's it called? A vocabulary of design in your head. Okay. Then another one you can do is there is Nigeria's. I'll drop it. Let me look for the website and drop it here because best Nigerian sites.com. Here, almost every good Nigerian website, you will find it here. I'll drop it in the comment section. So let me drop it here real quick. Yes, best Nigerian sites, the Figma website. You can go there, see tons of Nigerian websites, real project, full project. So this time it's not dribble that you see just one shot, one screen, the landing page. This one you see plenty websites, nice websites, and they are Nigerian as well, not foreign. So you don't feel like they are strange. You can't create something like that, or it's foreign. They don't do that in Nigeria, right? So go to best Nigerian sites.com. I just dropped in the comment section. Check it out. All right. Are there any questions? Any other questions? These phone pictures, are they made from scratch or they can be gotten online? Okay, these phone pictures, this one that I use here. Well, I think, did I make this one from? Yes, I made this one from scratch. I made it for a mock-up I was working on some weeks back. So I made this from scratch, but you can, there are plugins you can actually use to create something like this. I think that is, what's it called? Artboard mockups. Is it artboard mockups? Yes, I think it's artboard mockups. Let me see. Yes, artboard mockups. You can use it to create stuff like this, but this time it won't be outside of the screen, it will be inside of the screen. All right, so artboard mockups. You can just test it out. If you have any questions about it, many of the mockups are not free, as you can see. Right. So, but I'm not about to teach you how to use it. So you can go on to learn about it, learn how to use it on your own, or if you have any questions, we can connect on LinkedIn or wait for our bootcamp. We are going to learn a massive lot from there. Okay. Other questions. So I'm trying to rush. I think we're running out of time. Timile, yes, please ask your question. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you so much. It's not a question per se.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you first, and um I want to please beg, if this meeting is being recorded, that can we get the because the network is so frustrating. Like I even almost break my phone today because of this network issue. I'm telling you, like I was just frustrating because this is the beginning class and I missed a lot for like 30 minutes. I was lost. So I want to you to beg for us, like if you can get these recording video, is it video, um please. Thank you so much, and thank you. I really enjoy your class. This
All
is
right.
for you, bro.
Thank, all right, thank you, Timile. Thank you. Yeah, the class is being recorded, and I hope that the organizers will be able to share that. I think they should be able to share that in the community. All right. Yeah, I believe they should be able to share that. So now one of the reasons why you have to be in that bootcamp is that one, you're going to learn a massive lot, both regarding balance, regarding the principles of design. You're going to learn the reason why I all of a sudden just used size 16 for the font size, for my font size, and I knew that it was going to be good, right? You can see that my buttons are properly sized. I remember when I was starting up, I didn't know how to use the right size of buttons, right? And many times I'll have to Google what is the right size of buttons. And if you even Google now, you're going to see plenty sizes, right? But there are hacks to these things. There are ways to figure this out. There are ways to figure the right size of image to train your design, the right size of text for the big text, the right size of text for the rest of your pages. Now you have to understand that you're not going to be creating only a landing page, right? You're going to be creating a lot of pages. It is going to require a lot of creativity to create things that are not boring. If not, you're just going to throw text and image on this side. The next section, you throw text and image. Next section, it gets boring, right? So you're going to learn principles about design. You're going to go through series of ideation, wireframing to come up with concepts that are both appealing to you as well and to other people when they see their design, when they see your designs, right? So I'm really glad we waited this long. Thank you guys for the feedback. I hope that we learned a lot. Like I mentioned, I'm going to send us a task to do, and I want us to engage in it. And I'd like to see what we come up with on LinkedIn and wherever we're supposed to be able to share that, Twitter and places like that. Again, thank you guys. Thank you, Academia, for having me. And I wish you guys a very successful career journey in UI UX. All right, so I'll hand over now to Comfort.
God
Hello, thank
bless you,
you.
Israel.
Yes, since everybody is really excited about today's class, it's more like what we've been seeing, and it has been like, wow, wow, how do they do this? You just showed us everything. Even I myself, I was just practicing and doing a couple of things. But I think I've done my own assessment now. Send it. I'll send it to you to rate me. Please don't laugh at me. I'm a newbie. I'm a beginner. Okay, so today has been amazing. Today has been amazing. Thank you so much, Israel. And thank you very much, everyone, for engaging. I think you made it very, very seamless for Israel as well. The fact that you were commenting and also providing your feedbacks on the go as well. So, yes, the class is being recorded, and then it's also on our YouTube channel. So we'll send the link to the community, and then you can go back and we'll watch it. So, and like Israel already said, Israel is going to be the mentor for our UI UX design class. So basically, this is your mentor. This is your facilitator for the UI for the product design bootcamp. So if you would like to learn more and get all of the things that he did, a lot of things that Israel did that he didn't mention, but I know that during the bootcamp, he's going to provide more detailed explanation and would break down every single thing to you, even in terms of color. There's even before, I know that before you create a website or landing page, there are things called like components, right? So the other things like components, you have to create components, determine what part. I think that's during your ideating process, right? Is your where you create the style guide, you create the colors, choose the colors, and then you choose the kind of buttons that you want to use. You choose how your you determine the what? I want to say something. You would even determine the font size to use as well, and those are things that you get to do while you're doing your research. And they're the things that Israel will take you through the fundamental, the basics. Will teach you like primary school, will hold you, and like I said, I've worked with. Yeah, please, Israel, go ahead.
Yes, thank you for bringing this up. So I was going to say this at the beginning. I think I forgot. Now, for the purpose of time and just to get us excited, that is the reason why we do not have to draw up a wireframe. We do not have to do a lot of things for this class, right? But there is actually a structured way to go about a project or to go about design. Like you mentioned, there is style guide. Style guide is where you talk about the set of colors you want to use, the set of fonts or the fonts and the sizes that you want to use for a project, the kind of components you would want to use. By components, we mean buttons, icons, logo styles, and different assets that you want to do. So there's a lot. We're going to be talking about a massive lot, right? And then after design, processes that you can take, maybe prototyping, testing with actual users, even when your design is not ready. So there's a lot you can learn from this bootcamp. So yeah, thank you, Comfort, for bringing that up.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Ifeanyi, you have a question or you have a comment? Your hand is up.
Yeah, I have a question. Sorry. Israel, are you here?
Talk to me, bro.
Okay. The concerning the wireframing, like the sketch, right? Sketch it out before you can start creating your idea. For like the tools for the wireframe, is it paper and pen? Do we have to get a color, like different color, like physical color to like this one that you design here? Now, do we have to design it on a paper first before we can start doing it on maybe Figma and other tools?
Okay, no, you won't have. So what you need for wireframing, for starters, is just pencil and paper, right? I usually advise people buy drawing pad, right? Buy a drawing pad just to make sketches, and pencil so that you can clean something. You get, if you're using Biro, you won't be able to clean, you will not have to cancel. So drawing pad and pencil, basically. And like I was trying to introduce us to Balsamic, which is now free, and we didn't have the time to be logging in and maybe be entering password and all of those things. You can as well use that to create like low fidelity, mid fidelity wireframes and things like that. But just go ahead, go to Google, search for wireframes, see what it looks like. You'll get an idea.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, awesome. So, thank you very much, everyone. We've come to the end of today's session, but just like we've been saying, there's a product design bootcamp coming up at the end of this month, and registration is currently ongoing, and definitely it's going to close pretty soon. So, I look forward to having you all in the class, and I look forward to us getting to learn more about product design, because there's a lot more about it, even because you mentioned the mobile version, right? So for every website or every website that you see, there is a mobile version that was designed, right? So the website this is the desktop view. This is also the mobile version. And know that some people also design like maybe the iPad or something, like, depending on the kind of products that you're working with. So there is a lot of things to be learned, and our curriculum have been drawn up to ensure that you are able to learn every single thing that you need to learn. And it's strictly virtual, just like we are doing right now, so that you are able to continue. And a lot of us have working hours where you work morning to from 9 to 5, and that means that, definitely you need to make money, right? So, and then transition seamlessly. So the virtual class was made possible so that you're able to transition seamlessly from when you're done learning, you can easily transition without having to quit your job or having to take a lot of excuses. But not every company will allow you to take time off work to learn. So that is why we've done it, make it strictly virtual. And also the classes are in the evening, and most likely, and also in the weekend. So it doesn't interfere with every other activities that you've had planned. So without keeping you all further in this class, I wish you all the best. Some of the things that Israel mentioned today, I'll try to get some of the links from him, and then I'll also share it to the community so that you can have access to it. And I'll also share the link to the class, to this particular class in the group as well, so that you can have access to it. So I wish you all the best, and I wish you good luck in your endeavors to becoming a product designer. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, everyone. Bye. You're welcome.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.